Greetings and perfect love to our Rastafari brethren. As most of you are aware, HIH Selassie recently passed away. He appointed me, Prince Ermias Selassie, to serve as chairman of the Crown Council, and Prince Kuri to serve as Ndersi, which is an Ethiopian title meaning prime representative. It's saying due to the health of Ahama Selassie and the unusual circumstance of the past few decades, contact between the Imperial family and the Rastafari community has unfortunately declined. It is Prince Kuri's and my sincere hope today onward links between the Rastafari and the new leadership of the Imperial House shall grow ever stronger and closer, with the shared aim of achieving the development of our nation and uplifting our people. You are gathered today to reason together and determine how best to reach these goals, and more specifically to discuss two related issues, repatriation and reparations. We will propose that a third be added, restoration, for indeed these three objectives are closely connected. The Ethiopian nation today faces terrible dangers. It has lurched from deadly fractorial war to division, despair, and decline. The situation today is less physically violent than it was under Mengistu, but we wish to make clear that the present government of Majesty is the enemy of His Majesty Haile Selassie and the Imperial House. Miles has denied human rights in Ethiopia, stifled freedom of press, permitted corruption, nationalized all land. It represents only a tiny minority ruling at gunpoint. Foreign aid donors are withholding millions in desperately needed aid because they are afraid to give it to a government controlled by Maos. Maos has divided our people along tribal lines to seek to prevent the return of the Imperial House to its rightful place. Maos kills and imprisons our supporters and declares publicly that Haile Selassie is not his king. Such actions are direct obstacles to the development and oneness of the nation. We therefore have the primary responsibility to change such conditions in order to create the optimal environment for the realization of repatriation and reparation. But clearly the African nation cannot be lifted up while its Imperial House is the object of persecution and denial. We therefore call on every African patriot to unite in our effort to restore the monarchy to its rightful position and administer of His Majesty's wisdom and an internal cornerstone of Ethiopia's glory. How then is this best achieved? How can we take our dream of a golden tomorrow and turn it into reality? For these answers, let's turn to the words of His Imperial Majesty, Haile Selassie, and apply his lessons of self-help, unity, and development. First thing we must realize, if the restoration is to happen, we must do it ourselves. We appeal to every member of the Rastafari community to join us in this historic undertaking. This effort will require psychological adjustment from wishing and hope into action. It will take special commitment from our nation of spiritual strength, physical labor, and financial sacrifice. Our victory will take time, perhaps many years, and no doubt, therefore, will be frustrations and setbacks along the way. But with determination, perseverance, and Jah's help, we will triumph, and our children and all future generations shall enjoy the advantages of a just, peaceful, and prosperous Ethiopia rooted in the knowledge of His Majesty. Because unity is the foundation of our strength, It is our wish that the Rastafari community should centralize around the restoration effort, and everyone should cooperate on our share of restoration goals. And so far as development is concerned, we have noted with pride the economic improvement of your community and hope you will continue to advance, for development is the lifeblood of what we seek to achieve. The world has changed in many respects, and cooperation between the races is today not only desirable but necessary, while at the same time we continue to struggle for justice. We must put even greater emphasis on education of our youth, borrowing developments in education from abroad, always demanding higher, ever higher standards in our schools, and even implementing them privately beyond what the public schools offer. There has been scientific announcements recently that an infant's brain capacity can be dramatically increased simply by parents speaking more frequently to the child and playing simple games with it in its first 3 years of life. Such innovations cost nothing but a little time and attention that can help us grow a new generation that can compete with the increasing pressures and challenges of our time. We must consistently seek out and, when appropriate, use such new ideas. Our struggle will require the support of other governments, and it's for this reason some within the community may wish to consider entering into the political and commercial life of the territories in which you temporarily reside, so that you may ultimately influence those places towards a path of justice and cooperation. In your temporary places of residence, within your temporary places of residence shall serve not as prisons, but as rather as a foundation for eventual repatriation. You should also not only continue but increase your efforts to carry your message to our people around the world. Restoration of the monarchy will facilitate the accomplishment of repatriation, of reparations and repatriation, and thus enrich the soil where Ethiopia's full potential can flower. We call on you to help us on this road and pray that with Jah's help, we shall not swerve from the important and historic responsibility we face in this dark hour of our nation's need. God bless you and the Ethiopian people. His Imperial Highness Prince Ermias Selassie. With that, I yield. Shalom. And I give thanks.